You might be wondering how I got here. This won't be a full teardown. There's probably plenty of that around. If you're replacing the lower control arm on your whatever your Trailblazer, they're probably all the same. Here's what you're going to wind up with, what it's going to wind up looking like, which is basically you're tearing everything off the front suspension. There are no shortcuts that I've found. You're going to have to take it all off. You're going to have to take the spindle off. Sorry, you just are. You can, I guess, shortcut by leaving the ABS wire intact, but you're going to have to take it out of its little carriers in there. You're going to have to take the caliper off, of course, hang that up, and then this is the bracket for the caliper. I'm sorry, for the brake hose. You're going to have to take that off the spindle. You're going to have a giant S impact to get the axle nut loose. I did leave it in. I don't know, maybe there were shortcuts. I have to rethink what I'm doing here. I did leave it in attached inside the front axle. You're going to have one giant bolt here, two back there, and of course those are your alignment slots, so have to have alignment when this is all over. This gave me a hell of a lot of trouble. You can get this nut loose, but then the inside ball stud here just wants to spin, so you're going to have to wedge a pry bar in here, pry it while you run the impact. Of course, your big ball joint down here. You know, the stuff. If you don't have a Milwaukee, I would highly suggest you get this thing. Don't mess around with any of the other stuff. 276720. The only other one I would say, because they're made by the same company, get the rigid impact, which has 100 foot-pounds more. If you're a DeWalt guy, get the biggest DeWalt. I think is the DCF 900 or something. Don't mess around. If you don't have a high torque half-inch drive impact, don't try this job. Especially if you live in the crust belt like I do. Oh, hit it with a mallet or it'll come right out. Yeah, whatever, dude. You obviously don't live in the rust belt. So you're going to have to do the upper control arm too. You're going to have to take the ball joint out of there. You can't shortcut it. Tie rod's got to come out. The whole nine. But good news is this whole entire replacement is with ball joint is $100 on Rock Auto. This is what, July of 2023. $100 for each side. I was going to try to repair the bushings in here because the rubber in here is just totally wiped. It was allowing this truck to wander like crazy when you hit the brakes, dangerously so. You get the whole thing with the bushings installed, which means a new stud and bushing here. I'm going to replace this, of course, because these are obviously seen a couple 100,000 miles. This is worn out. A couple other items of interest. You're going to have, which you probably don't, a 24mm socket to get the nut off the ball joint and off of the strut assembly. And there's no way around it. You're going to have a 36mm socket to get the off the. Because if you think you're going to wrench or ratchet that off, I got news for you. Well, I don't know. Maybe you have better luck than me. Maybe you're just smarter than me. I doubt it. All right, good luck if you're doing this. That's a lot of work.